Please welcome with me SMBC Aviation Capital CEO Peter Barrett. Yoshinori Kawamura, he is president of Sumitomo Mitsui Finance Leasing and member of the board of SMBC Aviation Capital. And from the Airbus side, John Leahy, our Chief Operating Officer, Customers. And John, I pass the floor over straight to you.
Well, let me add my thank you not only to all the members of the press showing up here today, but of course to SMBC, a very important customer who's going to shortly make an announcement. Before I get into too much detail on that announcement, it's probably more appropriate that I turn the program over to Peter Barrett. Now, some of you may remember Peter, who's bought quite a few aircraft from us in the past with Royal Bank of Scotland. So SMBC bought Royal Bank of Scotland, and now it is a big Japanese leasing company. So Peter, before I get dragged into actually making the announcement myself, perhaps you'll make the announcement.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, John. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see such a large group of people here on a nice summer's morning. As John just mentioned, my name is Peter Barrett. I am the Chief Executive Officer of SMBC Aviation Capital. I'm also delighted to be joined by my colleague Yoshinori Kawamura, who is the president of Sumitomo Mitsui Finance and Lease, and also a member of our board. Maybe I should just introduce our own company briefly first. SMBC Aviation Capital is one of the largest commercial aircraft leasing companies in the world. We are headquartered in Dublin in Ireland and are owned by a consortium of Japanese institutions, being Sumitomo Mitsui Finance and Lease, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, and Sumitomo Corporation. We currently have a fleet of about 350 owned and managed aircraft with a market value of about $10 billion. The fleet is almost exclusively modern narrow-body jet aircraft. The average age of our fleet today is about 4.5 years. And we have 95 airline customers around the world and a team of about 120 people in the business. I'm delighted to announce this morning that we have reached definitive agreement with Airbus to acquire 115 A320 family aircraft. This comprises of 5 A320ceo family aircraft, which will deliver in 2016, and 110 A320 neo family aircraft, which will deliver between 2017 and 2022. The engine selection for these aircraft we will make at a later date. This is a landmark deal for our business, obviously, for SMBC Aviation Capital. It's also a landmark deal for Airbus and indeed for our industry. It's the largest single-aisle order made of an Airbus aircraft type in one order, and it is the largest order made by a Japanese-owned aircraft leasing company. The A320 has been a core part of our fleet since we started our business in 2001. I think we've acquired about 250 A320 family aircraft over the last 13 years. And it's been a very successful investment for us. And we're delighted to be building on that investment with the new generation of the A320 family. And I'm very confident that with the delivery positions that we have over the next 8 years, we'll be able to give our airline customers the airplane that they both need and that they want. The aircraft leasing industry is continuing to grow, and we certainly see SMBC Aviation Capital as being very well positioned to take advantage of that growth. We have very strong shareholders. We have a very high-quality portfolio. We have a very experienced and professional team. And I think with this order, we are very well positioned to build our business into the future. Before I finish, I just wanted to thank the people involved in making this deal happen. It's actually very easy to stand up here and announce it. It's the easiest part of it. But I'd like to thank John and his team for all of their hard work over the last number of months, and obviously my own team in SMBC Aviation Capital, and our shareholders for their steadfast support and commitment to our business. So with that, I'll hand back to you, Stefan.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
We have a first question.
Okay, while you're thinking of the first question, let me answer the perennial question we get here, which is what is the list price of all of this. So it would be basically $11.3 billion for the 110 NEOs, $500 million for the 5 A320ceos. So you add that up and you have $11.8 billion US dollars at catalog prices.
Delphine Huitou, AFP. Could you precise the date of deliveries?
Sure, the aircraft deliver between 2016 and 2022. The CEOs obviously deliver first and then followed by the NEOs.
Next question. If there's no more question, yes, to Reuters, Victoria Bryan.
Hi, thanks. A question for Peter. This is a huge jump up in the number of planes that you have. So just wondered, where do you see the market opportunity for these planes? How are you getting the financing to be able to grow at such a fast rate compared to your current existing base?
Well, I think to put it in context, I mean, we currently have a fleet of 350 aircraft. We are taking, the last order we did with Airbus was for just over 50 aircraft. So it's, in relative terms, it's bigger, but it's not multiples of, significant multiples of. So I think we do see this as growing our business over the next 10 years. We've been very successful in placing our existing orders, and I would expect with the success of the NEO program, we do see a lot of demand from our customers. We get a lot of incoming inquiries today about the NEO as people seek to take advantage of the new technology. So we're confident that we'll be able to place these airplanes, and we've a lot of experience. We've been doing this for a long time. In terms of funding, I mean, one of the advantages of having a very strong shareholder base in the SMFG and Sumitomo Corporation families is that we have access to funding, and we have, I suppose, the umbrella and the halo of the group to help us in terms of our funding. But we've been building this business for the last 14 years, so we have a lot of experience in raising funding, placing aircraft, and running the business successfully. So I'm confident this order will be part of that.
Second question to Victoria Bryan. Again, Françoise.
Sorry, just to follow up. And what about the A330neo? It's obviously just launched this week. Would you look at that as well for future orders?
Well, I think it's very early days. I mean, obviously we've been very focused on this order for the last number of months. There's been a lot of effort in that. I've no doubt that John will be. I'll be top of his list to try and sell us some A330neos. I mean, clearly it's very early days, but I would say that based on the success of the 320neo and the concept and the way that Airbus has managed the re-engineering program and the way they've sold it, I would think that would bode well for the A330neo.
I can honestly state that we have not had a chance yet to brief them on the A330neo. We've been focused on this 116 airplane deal here. 115 airplanes.
Next question in the room. Karen Walker, Air Transport World.
John, so I just want to check, when do the NEOs start delivery for you? And then what's the sort of slot times now looking for new NEO customers now? How's that fit?
Our first NEO is delivering in 2017, and the last NEO delivers in 2022. So it's a period of 5 years.
And to answer the second part of the question, the production is extremely tight right now on NEOs.
Can you give me any more?
Extremely tight. Okay.